Coverage you can count on continues with the Columbia County Board of Elections saying no to a ballot hand count. County commissioners requested it after a polling problem happened yesterday during the House District 125 runoff election. Now commissioners want the board to reconsider its decision. Hannah Latier joins us live from the Board of Elections headquarters in Evans. And Hannah, leaders say the issue was resolved quickly.
That's right, Jenny. The director tells me the first error message popped up on one of the runoff election poll pads yesterday at around 7 a.m. She says the issue was resolved within 30 to 45 minutes and it did not affect the primary election.
They had a security setting that was preventing the voter access cards from being created. So when the voter checked in, their name was highlighted and a card appeared to be created, but when they went to the BMD, the card wouldn't work.
Gay says she then called the Secretary of State's office and was told there was a security feature within the election software that didn't recognize the runoff election.
So they ended up instructing us to reboot the poll pad, basically, and once it came back up, it worked.
Gay and the McDuffie County Board of Elections director tell me it happened at all of the precincts in their counties. About 40 emergency ballots were issued.
The state of Georgia has an emergency backup process in place, and it does work, and it worked yesterday.
Commissioners say voters alerted them of the issue, which prompted them to request the hand count at around 4 p.m. Tuesday. However, the Board of Elections denied that request because all of the roughly 5,800 ballots have already been accounted for, including the 40 emergency ballots.
They don't see a purpose in what it would serve to do a hand count.
Candidate Gary Richardson won the election with about 20% more votes than his opponent. He says he's fine either way with the recount.
If they chose to do a hand count, I surely wouldn't be opposed to that. And if not, I'm not opposed to that or don't have a problem with that either, because I do want people to have full confidence in their vote.
Gay tells us this was the first time the two counties had two separate elections on the same day. She also says the technology is fairly new.
With our voting system in the state of Georgia, there are many parts to it. I mean, you got to figure you have the poll pad, the BMD, the tabulators, then you have humans involved. So I mean, there are many steps in the process where something could go wrong. You know, it's the fact of being able to address, adjust, and correct it, and that's what we did.
Gay says the results for the election should still be certified by 6 p.m. Friday. None of the commissioners we reached out to would grant us an interview. Live in Evans, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.